Did you know that in the heart of Europe there is a country that has given the world amazing inventions, has an almost unique language, and a past as vibrant as its thermal baths? Today I'm going to take you to discover Hungary, a country that surprises you at every turn, not just because of its history and culture, but also because of its women, who are a true symbol of elegance, strength, and tradition. So I invite you to stay until the end of this video because I'm going to share facts that almost nobody knows, and I assure you that when you finish watching, you'll see Hungary in a whole new light. Hungary is a country located in Central Europe, landlocked, but graced by the majestic Danube River, which flows through its capital, Budapest. It borders 7 countries: Austria, Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania, Serbia, Croatia, and Slovenia. It covers an area of approximately 93,000 square kilometers and has a population of about 9,700,000 inhabitants. Its location at the crossroads of historic routes has made Hungary a meeting point for various cultures throughout the centuries. And this is clearly reflected in its architecture, its cuisine, and its customs. Budapest, the capital, is considered one of the most beautiful cities in the world, with its bridges over the Danube, its neo-Gothic parliament, and its famous thermal baths, which date back to Roman and Turkish times. The official language is Hungarian, or Magyar, a fascinating and very difficult language for foreigners, since it belongs to the Finno-Ugric language family and is not closely related to most European languages. That said, Hungarians are very proud of their language, which they consider an essential part of their national identity. As for its history, Hungary has gone through periods of splendor and oppression. During the Middle Ages, it was a powerful kingdom and a key player in Europe. Later, it suffered Ottoman occupation, Habsburg domination, and Soviet oppression during the 20th century. However, despite everything, it has managed to maintain its vibrant culture and resilient spirit. Now then, if we're talking about Hungary, we also have to mention its contributions to the world in various fields. Did you know that several inventions we use every day come from Hungarian minds? The ballpoint pen, the Rubik's cube, and even important advances in computing and technology were created by Hungarians. And in the artistic field, Hungarian folk music has inspired composers like Bartók and Liszt. But Hungary is also a paradise for the senses. Its cuisine is rich and flavorful, with dishes like goulash, a meat stew with paprika, which is the national dish. In addition, the country is famous for its wines, especially Tokaji, which is considered one of the best sweet wines in the world. Hungarian women are admired not only for their beauty, but also for their character, intelligence, and strong sense of family and culture. The image that is often held from the outside is that of elegant women, with striking features and deep gazes. And it's not a cliché. It's part of the genetic heritage from centuries of cultural mixing. They are women who perfectly combine modernity with respect for tradition. In cities like Budapest, you'll find highly educated women, with advanced degrees, who speak several languages and are present in all professional sectors, from medicine and engineering to the arts and the business world. At the same time, in rural areas, many women continue to keep traditional crafts alive: embroidery, ceramics, homemade cooking, dances, and folk music. In fact, many of the traditional Hungarian dances and costumes are preserved and passed down from generation to generation thanks to women. Something interesting is the central role they play in the family. Although Hungary is a modern country, family values remain very strong. Women are usually the pillar that supports family life, organizing traditional celebrations, passing down recipes, and teaching their children. On the other hand, historically, Hungary has had outstanding women in various fields. For example, Katalin Karikó, a Hungarian biochemist, has been fundamental in the development of mRNA vaccines, which have had such a huge impact on global health. And in art and literature, writers like Magda Szabó have left a deep mark on Hungarian culture. You might be surprised to learn that Hungary is also a country of entrepreneurial women. In recent years, the number of startups founded by women has grown significantly, especially in the fields of technology, fashion, and design. And if we're talking about curiosities, let me tell you that in Hungary there's a popular belief that pregnant women shouldn't raise their arms above their heads because it could cause problems during childbirth. It's an old tradition that you can still hear about in some corners of the country. Also, Hungarian women's names follow a particular structure. In official documents, the surname comes before the given name. For example, a woman named Anna Nagy would be registered as Nagyana. Another impressive fact, Hungary is one of the countries with the highest number of Olympic medals per capita in the world. It has won more than 500 medals in total throughout its Olympic history. This is even more remarkable if we consider that its population doesn't even reach 10 million inhabitants. Among its star sports are fencing, swimming, water polo, and gymnastics. Now let's move on to its rich cultural life. Hungarian classical music has had iconic figures like Franz Liszt and Béla Bartók. But popular folklore is also incredibly rich, with traditional dances full of energy, like the Csardas, which you can see both in theaters and at rural festivals. And when it comes to architecture, Hungary is a true gem. The Parliament of Budapest is the third largest parliament in the world, with more than 600 rooms. Its neo-Gothic design is spectacular and is magically reflected in the waters of the Danube, especially at night when it is illuminated. On the other hand, thermal baths are an essential part of Hungarian life. Across the country, there are more than 1,300 registered thermal springs. In Budapest, it's even known as the City of Spas. There are historic baths like Gellert or Székely, where both locals and tourists enjoy their healing properties. And if we talk about literature, Hungary has a deep literary tradition. Poets like Sándor Petőfi and novelists like More Jókai have left their mark on the history of literature in Central Europe. And we can't forget Imre Kertész, winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, who wrote about his experience in the concentration camps. But it's not all about history and classical culture. In recent years, Budapest has become a modern hub for international cinema. Several Hollywood blockbusters have been filmed there thanks to the city's beauty and the tax incentives offered by the Hungarian government. Now, let me tell you some truly surprising fun facts. Did you know that in Hungary, the names of the days of the week don't end in day, like in English, or tag, like in German, but are completely different words? For example, Monday is hetfo, Tuesday is ked, and so on. As for traditions, one of the most unique is the Buszójárs, a carnival celebrated in the city of Mohacs, in the south of the country. Participants dress up in carved wooden masks and sheepskin costumes to scare away the winter. This festival has been declared intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO. And now that we've mentioned UNESCO, it's worth noting that Hungary has several World Heritage Sites, such as the Danube Riverbank in Budapest, Andrássy Avenue, the Old Town of Hajduk, and the Tokaj wine region. Let's go over some facts that might surprise you. Hungary is one of the countries with the most thermal water reserves in the world. What's more, Lake Heves is the largest thermal lake in Europe and one of the biggest in the world. In technology and science, brilliant minds have also stood out. For example, John von Neumann, one of the fathers of modern computing, was Hungarian. And Edward Teller, known as the father of the hydrogen bomb, was also born in Hungary. Now let's talk a bit more about Hungarian women today. Besides being guardians of tradition, they are very active in political, business, and cultural life. There are several female parliamentarians, ministers, and tech company executives in Hungary who are setting trends. And in academia, Hungarian universities are becoming increasingly international, and women make up a very high percentage of students in fields like medicine, law, and social sciences. Lastly, I don't want to leave out a linguistic curiosity. In the Hungarian language, there are more than 100 different ways to express the word love, depending on the context. This reflects a great emotional and cultural richness in the way people communicate. As you can see, Hungary is a country full of contrasts, history, art, and innovation, and its women are a perfect example of how you can be modern without losing the essence of your roots. If you enjoyed this journey through Hungary, I invite you to subscribe to this channel so we can keep exploring more fascinating corners of the world together. And don't forget to leave your comment, which fact about Hungary surprised you the most?